The Fire Tornado. A terrifying convergence of extreme heat and violent wind, whipping flames into a roaring vertical vortex. Thermal sensors detect internal temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees. Ground debris is instantly incinerated into airborne embers. This fiery pillar moves unpredictably, sucking oxygen from surrounding air. Escaping its destructive path requires immediate, decisive action. Standing near the vortex scorches human skin from hundreds of yards away. It is nature's most aggressive and lethal combustion engine. Behold, the dirty Thunderstorm, a volcanic plume generating its own violent, chaotic electrical discharges. Friction between colliding rock fragments and ash particles builds massive static charges. Lightning strikes occur directly inside the volcanic cloud. Toxic sulfur dioxide gas blankets the terrain below. The atmosphere becomes completely unbreathable within seconds of the eruption. These apocalyptic storms create total darkness at midday. It is an overwhelming sensory assault of deafening thunder and suffocating ash. Witness the Supercell, the undisputed titan of severe atmospheric weather systems, harboring a persistent rotating mesocyclone. Radar imagery reveals an immense hook echo formation. Deep downdrafts battle rising warm air in a violent structural cycle. Hail the size of baseballs cascades from the darkened sky. Destructive microbursts flatten structures before a tornado even touches down. The sheer scale dwarfs everything in its path. Underneath the rotating cloud base, the atmosphere hums with terrifying potential energy. Discover the Haboob, a towering miles-wide wall of dense dust surging aggressively across arid terrain. Created by collapsing thunderstorms, these cold downdrafts scoop up millions of tons of dry topsoil, turning day into night. Visibility drops to absolute zero within seconds. Navigating through the dense grit causes instant disorientation and engine failure. The wall swallows entire cities in an amber-tinted shadow. It represents the raw, relentless kinetic power of desert winds. The blood rain anomaly, a disturbing phenomenon where precipitation falls as deep crimson, staining the earth below. High-altitude atmospheric currents carry red mineral dust thousands of miles before mixing with condensed rainwater clouds. Historical records viewed this terrifying sight as an omen of doom. The acidic red water corrodes metal surfaces slowly over time. Watching a storm bleed from the sky challenges basic perception. It remains one of the most visually unsettling natural events. Enter ball lightning, an elusive glowing sphere of electrical energy that defies conventional plasma physics. Witnesses report these glowing orbs floating through closed glass windows, hissing softly while hovering inches above the ground. Theoretical models suggest vaporized silicon soil or localized electromagnetic traps, yet no definitive explanation exists. The orb inevitably vanishes with a blinding flash and a loud explosion. It is an unpredictable electrical ghost in our atmosphere. Observe the Catatumbo Storm, a perpetual atmospheric engine firing lightning for up to 10 hours a night.
Silent lightning!
Methane gas rising from nearby swamps fuels the relentless electrical storm, illuminating the Venezuelan horizon like clockwork. Navigators historically used its constant glow as a natural lighthouse. Thousands of silent bolts pierce the clouds every single hour. The sheer continuous energy output rivals major power grids. It stands as the single most electrified location on planet Earth. The ice tsunami surge, a relentless wall of frozen, jagged ice plates pushing inland with unstoppable force. Strong, persistent winds across thawing lakes drive floating ice sheets together, stacking them into crushing vertical ridges. The creeping ice moves with a horrifying, screeching roar, effortlessly crushing lakeside homes, trees, and heavy vehicles. Unlike liquid water, this solid surge does not quickly recede. It creates massive frozen barricades that linger for weeks. Scan the microburst, a concentrated column of sinking air that slams into the ground like an invisible atmospheric hammer. Cooling air inside a thunderstorm becomes intensely dense, plunging downward at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. Upon impact, the wind radiates outward in all directions, shearing aircraft wings and uprooting massive, centuries-old trees. Radar often detects the danger only seconds before impact. It is a sudden, deadly atmospheric trap with zero warning. Detect the Megacryometeor. Giant boulders of solid ice falling unexpectedly from completely clear blue skies. Weighing up to several hundred pounds, these ice masses form without thunderstorm clouds, puzzling atmospheric scientists globally. Chemical analysis confirms they originate from atmospheric water vapor rather than aircraft waste or cometary fragments. Impacts leave massive craters in fields and smash through roofs. Surviving a direct hit is completely impossible. The Waterspout Vortex, a towering marine whirlwind bridging the dark cloud deck with the churning ocean surface. Forming over warm tropical waters, these vortexes suck up tons of seawater, creating a swirling mist cylinder. Marine life caught in the column is occasionally lifted high into the clouds, leading to historic raining fish reports. Encountering one at sea threatens even massive vessels. The swirling vortex tears through ocean waves with immense centrifugal force. Locate the Cryoseism frostquake, a violent seismic boom triggered by rapidly freezing underground water tables. When saturated soil experiences a sudden extreme temperature plunge, expanding ice fractures surrounding rock with explosive violence. Residents report hearing sounds resembling underground bomb detonations, accompanied by localized surface shaking and ground fractures. These non-tectonic quakes occur during the dead of winter. It is the Earth literally cracking apart under the pressure of frost. Track the Derecho, a widespread, long-lived straight-line windstorm that travels hundreds of miles across land. Producing damage comparable to inland hurricanes, these bowing storm complexes sweep across continents with relentless ferocity. Winds easily exceed hurricane thresholds without forming a rotating funnel, leaving uniform swathes of flattened forest. Their rapid forward speed gives communities almost no preparation time. It is a freight train of continuous atmospheric devastation. Examine the Asperitas Clouds, a deeply dramatic, undulating wave formation that makes the sky resemble a stormy sea viewed from below. Extreme wind shear at cloud base levels carves rolling, chaotic ripples into thick, illuminated moisture layers. Despite their menacing apocalyptic appearance, they rarely produce severe precipitation or destructive ground-level winds. Looking up at this churning ceiling evokes primal fear. It reminds us that our atmosphere behaves like a vast fluid ocean. The polar vortex collapse, a destabilization of Arctic air that sends lethal sub-zero freezes deep into temperate zones. Weakening jet stream currents allow freezing polar air masses to plunge southward, dropping temperatures by 50 degrees in hours. Exposed metal becomes brittle and shatters. Power grids fail under extreme thermal contraction across entire nations. This deep freeze represents the most widespread, paralyzing weather disaster on Earth. Nature asserts absolute icy dominance. The final storm subsides. The atmosphere settles into an uneasy, frozen silence. This investigation into nature's fury is officially closed.